we will solve few questions related to the parallel and perpendicular lines of the coordinate geometry, right? So how to solve this question? Like the coordinates of the 4 points, the 4 points are there. The O is 0 and 0, A is 2, 3k, B is 4k and 6, right? And C is 10k and 7, and you need to find the values of k, right? If the first part, OA is parallel to BC, whenever the two lines on the graph, they are parallel, their slope or their gradient is same, right? So how are you going to solve this? First of all, you need to find out the gradient doing the first part, right? So the gradient of OA, right? Right? First of all, we need to find out the gradient of OA. This is the first step. And then what we need to find out, once we will find out this one, then the second one, that you need to find out the gradient of BC. This one, right? Because the reason that once you will find out the gradient for this OA and BC, which are parallel to each other, so then they become the equation, right? Once they become the equation, then we need to find out the value of k, which is unknown here. And what is the formula of the gradient? Is change in y over change in x. So here the formula is like y2 minus y1. We are finding the gradient. So here is y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. Same goes here, right? So I'm doing both the things side by side, okay? So y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So the gradient, the coordinates of O, it's 0 and 0, and the coordinates of A is 2, 3. So what we need to do, we need to substitute these values, right? So the first one is 0, x1 is 0 and y1 is 0, x2 is 2 and y2 is 3k. So y2 is 3k there, so 3k minus what is y1? It's 0, right? And then 2 minus 0, right? When we solve it, it will give you 3k over 2. Okay, and then the another one here, B and C. So B, the coordinates of B is 4k and C, and the C is 10k and then 7. Okay, so when we substitute it according to this formula, so the gradient of BC is y2 minus y1. y2 is 7, right? This is 7, okay? And then minus y1. What is y1? y1 is 6. And what is x2? x2 is 10k. Here, 10k minus 4k. Then after substituting the values, right? The answer of that gradient of BC, which gives you k squared, right? 7 minus 6 gives you what? 7 minus 6 gives you 1, 1 over 6k, right? 1 over 6k, okay? 1 over 6k. Now both the gradients have been found. Now what we need to do, with the help of the equation, we need to find out the value of k, right? So 3k over 2 equals 1 over 6k. Okay, cross multiply, when we do the cross multiplication, so it gives you 18k squared, okay, equals to 2. So k squared equals to 2 over 18. So then k squared is equals to 1 over 9, when we do cross multiply, so it gives you the answer k is equals to 1 over 3 plus minus. So we have found the value of k here, right? So now what we need to do here, the second part is that you need to find out find the points O, A, and B are collinear. Okay, so how are you going to find this second step here? The second step, what we need to do, I'm explaining this. First of all, the gradient of O is already we have found, right, which is 3k over 2 in the first part, and the gradient of OB you need to find out. The formula is same. Okay, so the gradient, now in the second part we need to find out the gradient of OB. Okay, the gradient of OB. So let me take another one. Okay. Now gradient of OB. So gradient of OB is the same formula that we have, y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 0 and 4k minus 0, right? 6 minus 0 and 4k minus 0. Okay. So we will get like 6 over 4k. Okay. Okay, 6 over 4k. Now, what we need to do, we need to find out the value of k. So, 3k over 2 is the gradient of OA, right? And 6 over 4k is the gradient of OB. When we will do, it's the same procedure that we have done in the previous question. Like 3k over 2 equals to 6 over 4k. Same thing. The answer, you people know that, you cross multiply, right? 12k square and 2 6 are 12. So it gives you 1, right? K square equals to 1. So when we find out the square root of 1 is, you know that plus minus 1, square root of 1 is 1. So K is equals to 1 here. Now, second question, students, the coordinates of 3 points, um, 1 comma 1, right? B is minus 1 comma 4 and C is 6 comma 6 and K. The 3 points are given to you. Okay, find the values of K. Okay, we need to find out the value of K if AB is perpendicular. Now, this question is different. In the first one, we have done the parallel. Now it's a perpendicular. So make sure, students, that the perpendicular gradient, if AB, suppose it's the gradient of AB is like negative 3 over 2, right? So the gradient of BC is opposite in signs, and you need to reverse the fractions also. So if it is 2 over 3, 3 over 2, so it will be 2 over 3. Or if it is, for example, if it is 2, so the what is the reverse of the sign of 2 is negative, and reverse of 2 is half, right? In perpendicular, they're going to be reverse, right? But not in the parallel. In the previous question we have done, in the parallel, both the gradients must be same. So how to solve the question when the question is in the perpendicular form, right? Let's solve the question here. First of all, what we need to do, we need to find out the gradient of AB, right? When you will find out the gradient of AB, so then we will find out the gradient of BC with the reverse one. Okay, though we need to find out the equation, the value of K, so we need to make the equation also. So the gradient of AB is, a formula is same, right? Y2 minus Y1, A and B. Check A and B. So substitute the values like 4 minus 1, okay, and then minus 1 and minus 1. So it gives you 3, right, minus 2. Okay, so this is the gradient of AB. Now what is the gradient of the next is BC? So the gradient of BC, and you need to opposite of this 3 over minus 2. So the here some sign negative turned into positive and 3 over 2 becomes 2 over 3. Okay, this is the gradient of BC. So it's a perpendicular, right? Now, how are you going to find out the value of K here? So this is 2 over 3, right, equals to the coordinates of B, right? The coordinates of B are minus 1 and 4 in the question, and C is 6 comma K. We need to substitute this in the formula of Y2 minus Y1. Okay, so it gives you K minus 4 over X2 minus X1, so 6 minus 1, right? I'm solving it here. So 2 over 3 equals to K minus 4, 6 plus 1. Now cross multiply, and it's 3K minus 12, 14. 3k 14 plus 12 and 26. K is equals to 26 over 3. And this is the answer, the value of k. Right? Question number 3. Right? Question number 3 is also a similar. Right? What we need to do in question number 3. The question number 3 says the vertices of triangle ABC, right, at my a is -1 and -3, b is 2 comma 3, and the next one is 2k minus 5. Right? So what we need to do here, what we need to find out, 5k, find the values of k if, right, AB is perpendicular to BC, right? So in this question, step number 1, we need to find out the gradient of AB, right? And then the gradient of BC. So though it's a perpendicular, if the gradient of AB is 2, so the gradient of BC is sign change, plus turned into minus, and then 2 turned into half, right? And then what we need to find out the value of K. So the reverse side gradient of BC is like negative half equals to B and C. Put the substitute the formula, values in the formula, which is y2 minus 1 y1 over x2 minus x1. Substitute them and find out the k value, which is equals to 1. Right? So, students, you need to do question number 3, okay, and question number 4 as well. Right? It is similar question, right? In question number 4, what we need to do, the question says the coordinates, again the 3 points are given to you, right? Find the value of k if first part AB is perpendicular to AC. In first part, what we need to do, find out the gradient of AB, right? Substitute the values in the formula y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So A coordinate check and B coordinate check and substitute the values, find out the gradient of AB. Then, so it's a perpendicular, find out the gradient of AC, right? So when you will find out the value of gradient of AC, whatever the value of gradient of AB, though it's a perpendicular, reverse it. Sign change, if it's negative, turned into positive. If it is positive, turned into negative, okay? Now again, we need to find out the value of K. So gradient of AC is similar like the previous question number 3, right? So students, you need to do question number 3 and question number 4, right? Thank you.